Hello, Serge here from the Backyard Driving Range. We have a question here that came in, and it's really more of a comments, in your own word testimonial. In your own words testimonial, and this one comes from Charlie Davidson. And Charlie says, as a former rotational swinger, my frustration nearly led me to give up the game. And then I discovered Dawn on the Golf Channel many, many years ago. Well, that was many, many years ago. I think the first time I was on was, I was like the second guy ever to be on Golf Academy Live. And I was on it 4 times, and the last time was probably about 2004, I think. And I think the Golf Academy Live lasted another year or two, and now they got these other shows. So that goes back probably at least 10 years. And he said, I could go on. He said, I discovered Dawn on the Golf Channel many, many years ago, and what an awakening. And he's got exclamation points after it. I could go on for hours about his swing is the only swing. But if I could go with one overriding thought, it would be this. It's got in quotation marks. Why on earth would you ever want to bring the club behind you, in parentheses, in the sacred burial ground, end of parentheses, when you can just simply keep it in front of you? I responded when he found out that the email got to me. He responded with this statement. He sent another email back in to customer service, and it said this. Like I said earlier, I could go on for hours about this wonderful swing. I truly believe I would have quit this game if I had not seen the Surge on the Golf Channel all those years ago and immediately sent in for his manual. No internet in those days, so that was way back when I first times I was on there. And he ends up by saying, the man is my hero, exclamation point. Well, thank you. And thank you so much for those kind words, Charlie. And I know that for many people, finding PPGS has been, so we should say, a lifesaver for their golf playing life, okay? Because, again, why do most people find golf? Find it? It's because they're looking, when they get on the internet and they start Googling it now, they're Googling words like pain-free golf, back pain, free swing, or whatever, and sometimes it just have, hit it more solid, more straight, or whatever, and those are the Google words that really get you to our website in the Peak Performance Golf Swing. All right, so let me just comment a little bit about Charlie's comments in the sacred burial ground. It's always good to bring up these comments and talk about the sacred burial ground, because basically we know that the peak performance golf swing is defined as a 3/4 backswing, limited turn. Why is it limited turn? Well, it's limited turn because of secret number 2, which becomes rule 2 after you know what it says we can only swing our arms in front of our body. We can't go through and we can't go behind. We can only swing in front. All right? And when you swing in front, your palms always stay perpendicular to the ground. All right? So the second secret states that when we swing, we want to go into the catcher's mid-toe up and up the tree, hit the ball where the club squares up at impact. It goes into the forward mid-toe up and up the tree on that side. So we're controlling our rotations. Our arms rotate in the ball and socket joint. The arm's connected in the ball and socket joint. So the entire arm, from the tip of my fingers, all the way up through the wrist, the forearm, the upper arm, and up into the shoulder socket, they rotate. And when we have a good palms perpendicular grip to the ground, what I call the 3P grip, palms perpendicular to the ground, if I line up parallel left of my ball line, let me put a ball line here for you so you'll have that one too. Say I'll have a ball line. I'm going to try to set this up at the camera, because that way you got a better chance of seeing all of this thing on its good parallel perpendicular lines. Again, that's a good alignment, the aiming line, because when I put my shaft over that line, it was covering the camera. And now this is parallel left. It might not look perfectly parallel left, but to me it looks perfectly parallel left. All right, so I'm going to be standing in here, and I'm going to move this one back just a little bit more to, again, where it looks parallel left to me. And when I'm standing here, and I'm here, palms, the 3P means palms are perpendicular to the ground, perpendicular to the aiming line, and my body, and then they will be perpendicular. The palms will be perpendicular to the aiming line also. So they're in the target line. All right. So I got the three perpendicular relationships. When I have a good 3P grip in that regard, which is what I also call the prayer position. When people stand there, if you put your hands in front of your body, nobody ever puts them up over here or over there. They just always hold them in front of them here. And so when my arms swing this way, they always come back to, they can come back to dead perpendicular at 12 o'clock and 6 o'clock. To put them over here, see what happens? They can't get over there without being rotated. I'm not doing it on purpose. You just go that way, it rotates. All right? So that's the next thing we're going to talk about, why we swing only to the toe line. So the first secret is fewer angles the better. So we don't want all of these body movements in our motion, especially the knees and the spine changing and all those things. But we want to keep the palms perpendicular to the ground, because when I swing here, the palms stay perpendicular to the ground, and when I bend over, I lose just only about 10 or 15 degrees up here. But I can still lift my arms up and still keep the club vertical on both sides, okay? So we are swinging pretty close to vertical. We're on an inclined plane, tilted plane, but at some point when we're at the very top, we're vertical, and when we finish, the club has gone up just about dead vertical, 12 o'clock on both sides, okay? So that's the first part of it. Now, but Charlie was always talking about, why would you swing the arms behind you? Well, again, if you stand up here, and I'll just stand up this way, if you stand up dead straight, and you just take either one of your arms, go that way with one or the other one crossing your body, anytime one of your arms starts to cross your body, once it reaches the toe line, it can't stay relatively straight anymore. If you keep turning and this keeps going behind you, the arm starts to bend or break, and it starts to rotate. So now if I'm taking a club back here like this, all right, so watch it from this view. It starts to bend or rotate. Here, it starts to bend and rotate, okay? So if we go and we keep turning our body and keeps going farther behind the aiming line, all right, and I keep turning more, my arm bends more, and it rotates more. That's built in. Why? All the muscles, tendons, and ligaments that connect the head, that hold the head in place, and connect the head to the shoulders, and all the muscles up from the arms connecting to the shoulder, and from the back, and the back shoulder muscles and front shoulder muscles connecting for all the different ways we can move our arms. All of those muscles moving, once they cross your toe line, this one going that way or this one going this way, I'll do it this way so you can see it, it starts to bend or break, and it starts to rotate. So if this was my backswing, if I was a lefty and this was my backswing swinging this way, what would happen? The more I keep turning, the more I'm breaking and the more my club's laying off. Okay? And it goes for both sides. So again here, you'd see that the more I turn, the more, and my hands get behind me, and we're talking the toe line. All right? Now, I will say this. At the very top of my backswing, any of you, whether you're a righty or a lefty, if you're a righty, it'll be your left arm from the elbow to the shoulder. And since I do it better as a righty, and for a lefty, it would be the right arm from the elbow to the shoulder. When I get back here, you can see that the butt of my club, the majority of my club, and even my hands are a little behind my toe line. But what is still over my toe line? The elbow to the shoulder. All right? That's what's over the toe line. This has to be a little bit inside because we're swinging on an inclined plane. But where we want is if you draw a line from the butt of the club straight to the ground, if you were standing behind somebody looking at them, it should always come down about the top of the shoelaces to the ankles. If that line from the butt of the club, like right now, the butt of this club is probably coming down somewhere back here at the end of this tray holding my golf balls. All right? And that's probably about 5 inches behind me. I've seen people so far behind, they're as far behind because their arm would actually be this part of their arm. You look at Tiger Woods and you look at a lot of those guys on the PGA Tour today, if this straight line was right here at the top of their backswing, they have turned so much that this part of their arm is at a right angle to where their aiming line was, or a right angle to their toe line. How much turn was that? If I stood here and I get this arm all the way to here, which is now perpendicular to that line right there, how much have I turned? Look where my shoulders are. 90 degrees would be about right there. Now they're way over there. That's probably 130 to 150 degree shoulder turn. All right? So that's what Charlie's alluring to here. Sacred burial ground. I call everything behind the sacred burial ground. The whole half circle here. The rule is you may stand in it, but if you swing in it, you're dead. Because golf is like life. What goes around, comes around. What goes straight back and up, comes straight down and can go straight back up. You're going to have to make that happen because you're going against gravity. You got to work and make it happen and go against gravity. But if you got gravity working for you, when you lift it straight up and it comes straight down, it's easier to swing it straight back up. But you have to be wanting to swing it straight back up. So the sacred burial ground, and one of the biggest things that hurts most surgites is even when they think they are not moving their left knee that much, and they are, the biggest thing we see most of the time is you're still turning too much. You're getting deeper in the sacred burial ground, a lot less deep than you used to be. But if you get in there just deep enough where you can still deep and swing straight back down, you're going out there, and that's where you get a lot of pushes. And at some point, you're going to have to try to start either flipping the club a little bit quicker and sooner to get it square to the ball. And if you overdo it, it's over to the left. But the answer is, get somebody to check you out. Make sure that you're not swinging past your toe line. Many of you, that's one of the major problems. That you're still turning way too much, and it's mostly caused because of too much knee movement. You cut down a lot, but you still haven't cut it down enough. And the key to the wide knees outward pressure is that's where when you reduce the movement here, it reduces movement here and reduces movement here. And every little bit that you keep allowing a little bit more turn, that's allowing you deeper to go. And the deeper you get into the sacred burial ground, the more your arm is going to rotate and it's going to start bending. Getting more of that bend. I almost like that word better than breaking, because that would be breaking. But eventually, at some point, you bend enough, it can finally break. And if it breaks, which means it flops, it's then going to flip, and that's out across. Okay? So, basically, vertical swing has to have limited turn with it, and 3/4 is absolutely the way to go, because I've done the studies. We got the scientific data to show that a shorter swing does accelerate better at impact, and it is an acceleration impact compared to a lot of parallel swings, and longer parallel swings are actually a negative acceleration impact, and it's on, square, solid, accelerating to hit a good golf shot from a putter to a driver. All right, so swinging the club properly in a peak performance swing, 3/4 limited turn swing, you'll be vertical, and vertical is always better, because vertical is the way our body's designed to move, the way our arms are designed to swing, and you hit the ball more solid straight, likely longer, and therefore hit better shots, hitting more fairways and greens, and you shoot those lower scores. That's it for the search for today, and I'll be talking with you all again soon.